Hey everybody, day 3 of your fitness challenge. As always, we'll start with the power habit. I'll keep reinforcing this idea that the habits, the lifestyle habits, are more important than exercise. It's just the way it is. And I don't advise this, but you can test it. If you decide to keep every aspect of your lifestyle exactly the same, let's say you want to lose weight, you keep everything you do in your life the same, except you add exercise, a half an hour a day of exercise, let's say 7 days a week. I am positive that you will not see much, if any, change if it's, say a weight loss goal. All right. And if you do find some change, like you lose a couple pounds, it'll be within the first couple of weeks and then it'll plateau. You won't lose any weight after that. So that's just a way that I can, hopefully get it through to you that exercising is less important than making, lifestyle habit changes. Unfortunately, changing your lifestyle, even if it's, one habit at a time, which is the most efficient way to do it, it's just not easy to do. It's not easy to do because we're surrounded by food at every corner. We really don't move around a lot because it's just in this day and age, it's just too easy to get places without having to really move. So without, getting all high and mighty and preaching, I struggle with this too. But the point is, you have to emphasize little lifestyle habits, because if you do these habits over time and continue to add to them, that's where you'll find the real longevity, sustainability to the healthy lifestyle. And then honestly, it's at that point where you go, hey, I can fit in a couple beers over the weekend, getting popcorn at the movie theaters, whatever it is, the things that you really enjoy and value. Then those things won't have such a horrible effect on you. But right now, because those things are more prominent in your life than other, better, quote unquote, lifestyle habits, they do have a bad effect. Okay, enough of that. Today's power habit, actually, is a good segue because this is really relative to what I'm talking about food-wise. Your challenge today and throughout the rest of this challenge, and hopefully through to this new year, I want you to eliminate snacks from your diet. Not only do I want you to eliminate snacks, I want you to eliminate any food that you eat that is not a direct consequence of needing to satisfy real hunger. So let's say I typically eat 3 square meals a day and I have 2 snacks in between, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Do away with those in-between meal snacks. Why am I asking you to do this? Well, I'm asking you to do this because I want you to learn that feeling hungry is not an emergency. It's not an emergency, and the feeling of hunger does not have to be obeyed at every whim that hormone produced feeling tells you, okay? You feel hunger because of hormones, basically. The truth of the matter is that you could potentially go up to, 30 days or so without eating. Is that true? You can't go more than, I know this is true, you can't go more, this is crazy to me. Without drinking fluids, you would be dead in 3 days. That is crazy. It's amazing how delicate we are, really. No water for 3 days, you're dead. Food is a whole different story. You can go a long time without eating, all right? So when you think of it in that sense, doing away with 2 snacks throughout your day when you're having 3 other meals, it just makes sense. So the goal is don't be a slave to hunger. It's not an emergency. Just wait until your next meal. No big deal. The other part of this habit is to basically get rid of mindless eating. This is eating that you do when you know damn well that you just had dinner an hour ago. You're sitting down watching whatever it is you watch, and you got to have a hand-to-mouth, fixation, right? So, those calories add up. A lot of my clients, when they first start, they're like, I eat pretty healthy. I take a look at their food profile there that they show me, and it's like, okay, a handful of nuts here. Okay, that's healthy. Cool. All right, maybe a handful of a goldfish for my kid's snack. I was a little hungry at dinner. It doesn't look like a whole lot. But when you add up I had a little thing here, a little handful here, a couple hundred calories, you add that up through the course of your week, Even if it's just 100 extra calories a day, at the end of the week, you're in a 700 calorie surplus. It does not take a lot of extra food in order to gain or maintain the weight that you have. So you'd be shocked to really see how little food it actually is to reach, let's just say 1,500 calories. When you have a set calorie intake, it fills up real quick. So you may not feel like you're overeating, but even having 2 snacks a day that are perfectly reasonable, maybe you're not gaining weight, but if your goal is to lose some weight, those snacks are probably holding you back. Anyway, not telling you to starve yourself, but I'm telling you that little, it's getting to be, pretty hungry. That's not something you have to go to the kitchen for. That's something that tells you, cool, I'm gonna be hungry for my next meal. Great. And then that's the big challenge of making sure that at that meal, you only eat until 80%. Your body, by the way, will adapt to this, and you won't feel so hungry so often. Your body just starts to run on a clock, okay? It's feeding time, you know what I mean? That's how it works. Your body gets used to something, When people first, test out a 24-hour fast, for some people it's like the most miserable thing in the world. But then they start doing it like once a month, and they actually end up looking forward to it. For a lot of people, eating is a pain in the ass. You got to do it freaking all the time because hunger, it just comes on so rapidly and multiple times throughout the day. If you learn to not have to be a slave to hunger, then you're going to have a lot more success, okay? And then you start to conceptualize the idea of weight loss. Because I'll tell you what, when you're feeling that little pang of hunger, it's a great sign that your body is probably metabolizing fat, which means it's using your fat stores in order to continue to do the things you got to do throughout your day, like taking walks, taking the stairs instead of the elevator. You see how these things are kind of all coming together? Again, I could see where this would be a little controversial, like feeling hungry is good. But it is, relatively speaking. I'm not saying don't eat, right? I'm saying get rid of the unnecessary snacks, because if you think you need to survive between meals, you don't with snacks. You'll be fine. I think what I'm saying is coming in pretty loud and clear. I hope that's reasonable and you guys understand what I'm saying. Again, if you have any questions, you guys let me know. Okay, today's, what am I calling this? A challenge workout. Here we have, you can choose to do between 3 and 4 sets of the following. This is a little bit of a interval idea, all right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have a clock. It's going to be going for 30 seconds, and you're going to be doing 30 seconds worth of, drumroll, burpees. Everybody loves burpees. I love burpees. I love burpees because I think they can be aerobic, meaning they don't have to be miserable. So you can choose to pace out burpees. Sometimes you see people doing burpees, they're going down and up so fast, it's crazy. Sometimes you see people doing burpees really slow. That usually tells me somebody knows how to pace burpees. So the burpee is, just so we are all on the same page, is basically going from standing to lying and then coming back up again. So it's basically down, lower to the ground, and then a little jump and clap overhead. Make sure when you do your burpee, you do not have to jump and then, get into a plank and then slowly lower. It's kind of like a sprawl. Lower to the ground, kind of in a squat. Right before your hands are about to touch the floor, jump back and then lower yourself to the floor. You do not have to do a strict push-up. You can just start to push up, and then as soon as you have enough room, you can sneak the feet here. Make sure you land flat on your feet. Not on your toes, none of this horse shit. This looks really bad and it's bad for your knees. All right, so you're gonna jump up. This is your good positioning. Feet are wider so that you can land on your feet, jump and clap. So you might pace it like this. 1 burpee. Jump and clap. I'm breathing, making sure I'm not holding anything in here, because when you hold your breath, if you notice, that makes your heart rate go up. All right, so just take it and pace it out. 30 seconds worth of burpees. Then you're gonna rest for a full minute. Then you're gonna do 30 seconds worth of nice controlled mountain climbers. So you'll be in a similar plank position. You're gonna jump and be really light on your feet. The goal is relatively to exchange the feet at the same rate. Okay? Again, knees to chest. All right, so like this doesn't work. It's got to be high up. Basically, it's like it's kind of like a horizontal sprint kind of thing. But you don't need to do them super, super fast. Those require a decent amount of hip flexion and extension at a rapid rate. So make sure you do a few warm-up reps. Make sure you're good to go. You're going to rest a minute, and then you have 30 seconds of as many reps as you can of a kneel to stand. So I'm in a kneel position. Now I want to stand up. Okay, switch legs. Stand up and back down. So I'm just alternating legs. Okay, the goal is to make sure you flex the hip and then that you don't have to go out and around, right? So it's just a kneel to stand. Back to my kneel position. Okay, rest 1 minute. Then you have what we call a sit through. This one's a little bit complicated. You're in an all fours position. All I'm gonna do is kick my foot out to the side like this while I support my hand. So I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna rotate until I'm basically facing the ceiling. So you wanna think belly down, belly up. We're not doing it correctly if it's belly down, belly to the side. We don't want that. We want belly all the way up. It's kind of like a big glute bridge. So I can alternate sides, okay? Sitting through. Make sure I'm always passing through to this all fours position. What a pain in the ass. 30 seconds worth of those. Boy, I'm out of shape. And then you're gonna rest 1 more minute before you go back to your burpees, mountain climbers, kneel to stand, sit throughs. Oh, so this will be the same workout for everybody because the 30 seconds, it's up to you to put as much effort as you possibly can. So whether you're beginner or advanced, everybody can do those movements relatively. So you don't need to necessarily add any extra weight or whatever, or advanced movement. All right. 3 to 4 sets, 30 seconds. Burpees, rest 1 minute, 30 seconds. Mountain climbers, rest 1 minute, 30 seconds. Kneel to stand, 30 seconds. Or excuse me, rest 1 minute, 30 seconds, sit through, rest 1 minute. So 30 on, 60 off. Got it? And that's just one set. Do 3 to 4 sets. Okay, that's it. Long video. Love you.